Bonjour and welcome to sunny France.
Bonjour. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately guys, the weather is a bit rubbish today. But anyway, yes, my first French video. And yeah, looking at the background, we could be anywhere to be fair, but yeah, we are in France. We're north west of France. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the area that we're in because I can't, but we're at a fishery called La Tannerie. It was an hour and 45 minutes from the ferry port of Saint Malo. Let's have a little look at our journey so far. Just in case.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
We are nearly there, aren't we?
Turn right, then you will arrive at your destination.
Right, yeah, so that was a little few snippets of our trip here. You didn't see us getting off the ferry, guys, because unfortunately at that point I was a little bit ill.
Just a little bit. Mind you, it was very, very rough.
It was a very rough ferry
Really
ride,
rough.
and I think we had some dodgy food on the ferry.
Yeah, the lamb.
Because even when we got here, right up until last night, I was still a bit bleh. But anyway, we're here now, so yeah, so we got here yesterday, as I said. We were set up by kind of mid-afternoon yesterday, so
Yeah.
at this point we've already done a night, guys. Not caught anything yet because yesterday was just a bit of a rush to get set up. I was still not feeling great, I'm sure, which was food poisoning, because I was still puking me guts up on the side of the bank here, which if it was seasickness would have eased off as soon as I got off the ferry. And
I felt a bit rough as well, and I don't get seasick.
yeah, and we ate the same thing on the ferry, so. But anyway guys, we're here now, we are fishing. Weather yesterday was lovely, but we've got some wet weather today, wet weather tomorrow, and then we think it's
okay.
nice the rest of the week. So yeah, we haven't caught anything. I'll talk more about the fishery. It's what we've got, water, size of lake, fish, a bit later on in the blog. But yeah,
Food's good.
the food's good. We've got the food package, so we don't have to cook. So at some point we'll show you some of the food that's being brought to us.
And drinks.
Yeah, and drinks with it.
It's lovely.
Yeah, lovely
and the
so
facilities
far.
are fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah, and we'll look at all that at some point in the blog as well. Right. How do you say let's go fishing in French?
Pour la soda, voilà.
Yeah. Let's go fishing. Oui, oui.
We I'm just grab one of them.
Oh, right then guys, so the rain has eased off just enough for me to do a little update for you. Just so I can say what's gone on so far while we've been here. Obviously I said I was already a bit ill when we arrived. Not sure if it's because of the boat, because of the food, but when the rods went out yesterday, they just kind of, I just wanted to be fishing and just get them out, so. But yeah, upon arrival we met Craig the bailiff who runs the place. He gave us a lap of the place right round the outskirts of the lake, sort of told us what were the hot spots, where fish come from, you know, from previous anglers. So when we put the rods out, I just wanted to get the rods out because I wasn't feeling great last night. So I put the rods out to the few hot spots that that Craig mentioned. One was over by that tree, one was over in the corner by the whirligig over there, one was on the far bank. I can't even, you know, I was so ill last night, I can't even remember what spot exactly I put. put that rod on. It might have been on a certain tree that's just out of shot, but anyway, while me and Darren have been sat in the swim, we've been watching the water, you know, because that's the carpy thing to do. And earlier on, directly in line with the whirligig on the far bank, a fish washed out under a bush over there. So when I redo the rods later on, I'm going to put my left rod on that whirligig over there. See it just behind me there, look. Although Craig said most of the fish get caught from the margins, you know, you can't ignore the guy who owns and runs the place. But we have seen a lot of fizzing out in open water, which there is now. So this big tree here, a fish washed out about a rod length from the bank, and then it continued fizzing up on that spot for a little while afterwards. That's going to be my middle rod when I redo the rods later on. And then round to my right here, probably 2/3 the way across, only probably 10 wraps out. I've been watching a hell of a lot of fizzing from a spot over there, so I've decided that's going to be my third rod. There is a lot of water here behind the swim, because the swim is kind of on a point that sticks out onto the lake. Now Craig did say no one really fishes them points, because that's Darren playing with his rods. He said most of the fish get caught from that area, but fish swim. I can't see fish not being in the water behind us, so at some point I might explore that area. But you know, are most of the fish caught over there because that's where Craig says the fish get caught from? Probably, so that's where everyone fishes. Could fish just not caught over there because people ignore it? Maybe. But yeah, we've got like I say, we've got a week here. We're sort of almost a day into the session now, but I can't say I've really fished properly. The boats that just kind of went out roughly into the spots, but now we've been watching the water, can see where fish has been coming or been showing. I'm going to fish to the showing fish areas. Right, so whether I film it or not, guys, obviously we're in a week here, I've got plenty of time to film a decent vlog, so I might just do it without filming it. And you know, I'm already making the vlog too long by waffling about what I've seen, what's going on. Darren's been trying to put me off behind the camera. No. So yeah, so today, rather than fishing to the highlighted spots that was given to us, I'm going to fish to what I've seen. So that's going to be my tactic later on today. Right, that was a lot of waffle for that little bit I could have put into about 20 seconds. Bit of behind the scenes. What do you reckon to dinner, mate?
That looks bloody amazing, doesn't it?
Let's have a look at that. Woohoo! Full roast dinner. Look at it.
I'm going to sit down and eat mine.
And
Bye.
me. Bye, Darren.
Bye.
Right then, guys, so not long just finished that amazing roast dinner, and after that they brought down some apple and apple and blackcurrant crumble, and all the apples and blackcurrants were grown on site on their orchards here, so that was absolutely lovely. But anyway, that was good timing when they brought the food down, because I had just finished redoing the third rod. So as I said, I'm going to redo the rods to them spots that I said earlier on, which I have done now. We'll see rigs and how I'm fishing at some point in this vlog. But yesterday I baited up with maize, what they bring here, you're only allowed to use their own particle here. So yesterday I baited up with boilie, pellet and maize. Today, because Craig was saying the lads who was here before us was catching on just the maize, so, but I think he meant the maize as hook bait, but I've done it the other way around. I've got pop-ups on my rigs and I've just put maize out this evening as the freebies. So yeah, so as I said, them spots earlier on, we're all fishing like that now, and yeah, got a full belly, all good, just need a fish now. Grand Prix program is on in an hour or so, so watch the Grand Prix. Keep them now for a fishy. Hopefully see you in the night, because it won't be long before it's dark. If not, see you in the morning, but hopefully the night. Right guys, I have to give a massive big shout out to my bait sponsors, which you all know is Hinders, but they sorted me out this awesome bait package to come to France with 15 kilos of the Nut 365 boilies, 15 kilos of the seafood boilies, 10 kilos of the ellipse pellets in the middle there, some of the seafood multi-mix there in case I've done stick mixes, matching glugs, some oil there, and also not in shot in case I did any zig fishing. They also gave me a 10 kilo bag of the instant nut sludge. Yeah, awesome bait package from Hinders, so I've got to say thanks to them very much. Yeah, I've not had to touch this yet because I had some stuff open already, but yeah, thanks a lot to the guys at Hinders for sorting me out. There's so much here, I'll probably be taking a lot of it back home, to be fair, but yeah, thanks Hinders, you've sorted me right out, appreciate it. Right guys, so just preparing another baiting strategy for tomorrow. Got a big bucket here. Oh, hello Darren behind me. Woo. There's about 6 kilos of ellipse pellet in here, and what I've just done, I've just got my hands dirty off the camera. I've just put in a whole bottle of seafood glug, and then I've doused it as well with the matching ellipse oil. Got my hands in, I stink, and they're nicely glugged now with oil and glug. So if the strategy with just the maize doesn't work, we'll have some nice, really attractive pellet here. The pellet I asked for from Hinders is a mix between the, I think it's the 4mm, 6mm and 8mm. So a nice kind of buffet of pellet for the carp. Nice breakdown rates for them. So yeah, lovely jovely. So if nothing happens on the maize tomorrow, we'll be baiting up with this nice attractive pellet.
Right, this is my 4th rod, because you have to use 4 rods, and this was on maize, one artificial, one real. Just gone 44.11. Biggest common I caught actually. Absolute unit of a fish, but he's still full of beans, so it's going to be fun trying to hold him. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'll lift him up there. Look at that. Oh. Look how wide he is. Absolute unit of a fish. Oh, okay. Okay. Right, let's have one more for the camera, and I'll get my phone if that's all right. I'll try and get one more for the camera. Right. Did you get that? Right, ready? He's a bugger, isn't he? I think I might have to get changed, mate. Right, let's try again. £44.10 of common carp. Beauty. Right, let's put him back. Okay, mate. Okay, right.
So a little close up on these flavours, guys. What's that? Watermelon or jalapeno? Strawberry or chili? What we got here? Cola or cinnamon?
That's not too bad.
Apple or wasabi?
Ooh.
Strawberry or chili? Lemon or ginger?
Well, as you can see, I'm soaking wet still. So this was a deal we done that whoever catches a fish has to play jelly baby roulette.
Jelly bean roulette.
I'm not looking forward to this. Right, ready?
Hang on. Right, I'm just going to make sure the flavours line up with, because the lid and the arrow is the. Right, I'll just make sure the flavours line up. I'll hold it so it doesn't.
Are you ready?
What we got?
Oh, that's in the middle.
Cola or no?
Yeah, all right, cola and cinnamon.
Or cinnamon.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's all right. I can handle that.
Cola or cinnamon?
Oh, cola.
Cola.
That's nice, actually.
Alright, we'll have another round of that again.
When Chris catches. Pocket top.
Right, guys, all sorted now. That fish has gone back of Darren's. Nice one, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being my gilly.
Bosh, no problem. Right. So anyway, Craig the bailiff did actually say to us earlier on, the lads who was here on the session before us was catching all their fish exactly how Darren was fishing, which is a bit of real maize tipped with a bit of fake maize, isn't it?
Yeah, official, yeah.
That's how they was catching last week. That's just how Darren has caught this fish. And so, what am I going to do? Obviously I've got a copy tomorrow. I'm going to leave the rods fishing tonight, but I've just been through the bucket of maize that we bought from the fishery. Just picked out some of the solid ones because a lot of the maize is split, you know, obviously through the cooking, because that's what happens. Good old Indus beetle in. So let's just give them a little dousing in that. And then tomorrow, if nothing happens for me in the night, well, even if it does happen for me in the night, I'm going to copy.
I'm going to put another one out on that as well tomorrow.
Yeah. So got a load of the real maize there. Just a few bits I could find in the bucket, because like I said, most of it was split. So that's me little pot of hook baits. Now glugging in the beetle in. Yeah. Why would I not copy? Craig said that's how the lads will copy it, fishing and catching. Darren's caught the same way. I've obviously got to do the same. Why wouldn't you? So then beetle in boosted, real maize ready to go. And then yeah, we'll redo the rods tomorrow. And some of you might say, why aren't you doing it now?
It's like a abyss out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is absolutely pitch black.
Luckily my boat runs on the GPS, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get them back out.
Oh yeah, I'd never see where to go with my spot, so I'll just have to wait to the morning to do mine. So yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to do tomorrow is copy what Darren's done. Craig the bailiff said that's what was working last week. I'd be a fool not to go the same way.
You get the moon on Saturday night? Yeah, over here. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to get some.
This is the life, eh guys? Just had breakfast brought down to the swim. This is what we get every morning, a nice baguette with a bacon, egg, sausage, brown sauce, brought down to our swim every morning. Oh, I could come here just for the food. Darren's just gone up to use the facilities, so I'm on rod watch at the moment. Oh. A fish just boshed out about 2 minutes ago, right by where I put my middle rod by the tall single fir tree. Oh, warm southwesterlies still blow in France. Oh, yep, they do. I think we got a bit of dry, it rained all night, stopped early hours. I think we got dry weather up to about lunchtime, then it rains again. Oh, wow, I just had another fish bosh out right by my right hand rod. Don't know if you heard that splash, but yeah, once I've eaten this, I'm going to go and use the facilities today, have a shower, because I've not had a shower yet since I've been here, so I'm going to go and have a shower, put some clean clothes on, and then I'll redo my rods. Yeah, I'm going to be fishing with maize when I redo the rods later on. Right, anyway, here comes Darren back from the facilities. Well, I'm going to enjoy this. Catch up with you later, guys. Hi, good morning, guys. I've been and had a nice refreshing shower this morning, nice change of clothes, feeling all tickety-boo and ready to... Darren's setting up his rods. So yeah, just getting the next rigs ready for redoing the rods this morning. And as we said last night, I'm going to completely copy Darren because that's what he's caught on. But it also goes along with the information we've had off of Craig on how the previous anglers were catching. So that would be all my fakies in a pot soaking in the Hinders beetle in. One bit of fake maize. And then stab that in that pot that I showed you last night. One bit of real maize. 2 bits of real maize. So there we go. 2 real, 1 fake. And that's exactly what Darren was, Darren, Craig was saying the lads were catching on last week. A little stack of maize. So let's get it pushed down onto the swivel. Not that far, because that's right up against the hook. Cut the tag ends of that off. Melt the ends down. Blob it down, and there we go. That is my rig. Little stack of maize, Gemini 5.5 inch boom. That, what are the hooks? That's the Ridge Monkey Apex hooks size 4, straight point. And as you can see, what I've done in previous videos, I'm incorporating the shot on the hook as well. So yeah, you can see that lovely jovely. So I've got one done already, tested it in a bucket, and in this format how it sits is hook completely flat, and then the stack sits up like so. Alright, that's my second one ready. One more and then we'll get the rods in and get them all out on this setup. And fingers crossed the fish will start biting in my swim. That's it. I'm not worried yet that I haven't had anything. There's plenty of fish just boshed out just a few minutes ago on my side. So, you know, there are fish on my side. But now we're going to be fully on the tactics how Craig said the lads were catching last week. Monday today. I don't want that one. That's... There we go. And then when the rods go back out, we'll use a good scoop of that pellet that I glugged up in the oil and seafood glug last night. So hopefully my swim will be nice and attractive to these big French carp. There we go. I'll have to go back through the bucket of maize later on when I put the rods back out and pick out some more good bits of maize to put in my little pot of beetle in. Darren's also redoing his rods as well at the moment. With the nice weather we've got this morning, we're feeling a bit enthusiastic, I think, by the looks of it. But we are due more rain about lunchtime, so there we go. Lovely jubbly third rig. Right, let's get the rods in and get the new tactic out into the water. Right guys, so 2 rods are already out. They're on the far bank at the margins under the tree lines where Craig has previously said is the best place to put the rods. Just doing the third rod, the right hand rod, which is going to be on my right hand side of the lake. I've got a little canopy hole that I'm looking at to put the boat under. We've had a couple of fish bosh out on this side of the lake as well today, so anyway, so baiting strategy today. So rig's already in the boat, so I've been trying something different the whole while since I've been here. So today's baiting strategy is going to be 1 scoop of the fishery maize, 2 scoops of the pellet that we glugged up and boosted last night, and an even scoop of the nuts boilies. Right. Said bail arm open, lovely lovely. I don't know how well you can see it on camera guys, but I'll put a little arrow for it on it now where it's aiming for. But there's a nice little hole in the canopy over there. Darren's already got all his Rods already done this morning. Did you do all 4 rods or 3 of them?
No, I did all 4.
Nearly there, slow it, and then just ease it under the canopy. Actually, I don't know if you could see it at all now on the camera, guys, but we'll just tease it under there a little bit. Lovely jubbly, that looks good. Bombs away. Yeah, that's right under there now, I can hardly see the boat. Bring the boat out so I don't lose it. Right guys, so that's all 3 rods, now all redone, rebaited, new hook bait strategy, slightly different baitings, loose feed strategy. Fingers crossed for a bite today, guys. Right guys, just a quick little update. I've just done a lap of the lake to see if I could see anything from the far side, and I spooked a fish right in line with the whirligig. There's a certain bush on the far bank that kind of sticks out a little bit, and then after that then it comes back in. There's a few little cut off branches I noticed from the far bank, which makes a nice little ideal marker. So I'm not going to touch my rods anymore today. I don't want to disturb the water more than I have to, even though I've got a bait boat. But if nothing happens between now and tomorrow morning, or say to tomorrow lunchtime, that is now a spot, because I've actually seen a fish there, and I mean, if that's the bank, there was a fish as tight as you could get. So I've marked that and made a mental note of that, where the few little branches come up out the water. I'll put an arrow on it for you now so you can see where I mean. But yeah, that's a spot for tomorrow. Sort of behind me, right round to my right, on the way round, I noticed there's a little inlet as well, little flow of water just coming in. Not a lot, but just a trickle. But I'm thinking oxygenated water, so maybe tomorrow I might try putting a rod down there. There's some overhanging branches about a rod length from the inlet, so I'm thinking maybe send a bait boat behind me, but it won't really be behind me, it'll be as the rods look at the water, the line would come off at a right angle to the rod tips. So possibly a rod down there tomorrow, because I can't believe like no one else would not explore that water just because it's kind of behind you. Yeah, then who knows maybe what to do with the 3rd rod. Probably leave it in one of the existing spots that I'm fishing at the moment. But yeah, anyway, the rain's just coming in, getting a little bit wet here, so let's get under the canopy. Can't complain too much because rain was forecast for most of the day and it's literally only just started, so we've been lucky there. It's been so nice actually, I've even managed to get some nice drone footage, so hopefully at some point during this vlog you'll see snippets of that drone footage that I've got today. Yeah, even had a little bit of a Darren flight. The old whirligigs over there, the wind had completely died down and they were virtually hardly moving at all. So I did a bit of a sort of danger flying through the blades of the whirligig. I mean, they were moving slightly, weren't they, Darren? But but yeah, if you know, I might input that in footage now while I'm talking, just so you can see what I'm on about. But yeah, all still quiet on my side. Like I said, my rods have been at kind of this time now. I've been fishing for, well, we have been fishing for roughly 48 hours. So, I'm not worrying just yet. But anyway, not going to touch rods anymore today. So if the camera comes out again, it'll be for me or Darren having a fish. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, well I know I said I wouldn't get the camera out again unless any action happened, but I just thought I'd film some of this rain, and this has actually eased off. It has been constant. Well, what's the time now, Darren?
It's 27.
27, so well, about 2 hours constantly we've had rain now, which might not be a long time, but it's been absolutely biblical. So much so, we can see the water level has probably come up, what, 3 or 4 inches in that time? It has absolutely been mental. These patches here in the gravel, that's where the water's been pouring off the canopy. It just so much, it's kind of, it's it's divided the gravel. It's just been so much rain has fallen, it's just been unreal. Right, anyway, the camera will now go away unless any action happens. Good morning everyone, and it's a bit of a chilly and, as you can see, misty morning today. And it's not even first thing morning, it's sort of mid-morning now, isn't it? What's the time, Darren?
25 past 10.
25 past 10, so yeah, we're mid-morning now and it's still quite misty, and it's a bit nippy this morning. I've got a jumper on under here and I've just had to double up with this extra hoodie because it's a bit... But anyway, obviously, as there was no nighttime footage, there was no fish last night for me nor Darren. And to be fair, after the rain we had yesterday, wasn't expecting it. There was so much rain and rain pouring in from the inlet. The water level come up by what did you say, about 6 inches?
Easily.
In a few hours. And yeah, the water was actually over the edge of the swim sort of last night. It's slowly dropping back down now. There's a pipe on the far bank that Darren's fishing to that takes the water away to a lower lake. And yeah, it was mental what rain yesterday. So that's my excuse for not catching last night. There's just so much extra water in the lake. But yeah, it is dropping down slowly. Not going to touch the rods for a few hours, probably leave it to sort of lunchtime, mid-afternoon before I redo the rods today. I've got no reason otherwise to think they're not as fishing effectively now as when they first went out. Yeah, so unless anything does happen between now and when the rods get redone, it'll probably be a quiet blog up until then. I'm going to stick with the maze tactics, I think, when I redo the rods later on. But I'm going to try different spots. I'm going to go to a spot where I saw fish boshing out yesterday. You won't be able to see it at the moment because of the mist. Where there's the inflow, the water was absolutely gushing in there like a torrent last night. It's still trickling in now, but I'm thinking that area behind me to the right, well, it's kind of behind me if I'm looking at the lake, but as my rods look at the water, it's kind of off to the right. So I'm thinking that's going to be a nice oxygenated patch of water down there, so I'll put a rod down there today. And then Craig suggested a area of lake at the end where the hedgerow kind of ends on my right hand side to put a rod on. So yeah, but that's all going to be this afternoon sometime when I redo the rods. But yeah, just waiting for this mist to burn off so it can warm up a little bit. We've just had our breakfast not delivered to us. Well, about an hour ago now, isn't it? Our morning French foot-long baguette full of sausage, bacon and egg. And a hash brown on the side. Don't forget the hash brown. And breakfast juice for me, because I don't drink tea. But yeah, still waiting for me first fish. I'm not panicking yet, guys, because, you know, it is what it is. But, right. Get back to you later, guys. Right then, guys, I've just come round the outskirts of the lake just to chuck some boilies in, just to kind of bait up the margins. But this is the end of that hedgerow I mentioned earlier on in the blog, where about a rod length, maybe 2 rod lengths out, fish were showing earlier on, but also where Craig said was a good place to put a rod on, which I haven't done up to now. But I've just brought a mixture of boilies. All my open boilies I had left open, seafood and the nuts I've just mixed together, and I'm just gonna scatter a load in, all in that area. Just get a nice big bed of boilie going, ready to put a rod on it later on. And I mentioned, so as I look at my swim, there's that inflow round to my sort of right. I've already chucked a load of boilie in there, ready to put a rod on that later on. That's a bit more of a confined area, so I didn't quite put as much on that spot as I have with that spot. Yesterday, when I did a lap of the lake, I saw a fish spook out of the margins, which I'm going to put another rod on later on. So I'm going to walk up to that spot next and confine some bait onto that spot as well. But because we're in my margin now, what I'm going to do is just go along the margins, walk along the bank, and just every couple of footsteps, just a few boilies all the way along the margins. And then if the fish are about, just to try and get them mooching around in the margins where I'm going to be putting the rods basically. So just a few loose boilies here and there, and then a concentrated area on the spot where I'm going to put the rods later on. So this is basically my pre-baiting, and obviously we'll have some more bait go out with the bait boat when the rods do go out. So probably mainly maize and pellet again then, because you know I'm already doing the baiting with the boilie now. So that's my strategy for today. Fingers crossed. Right, and guys, so this is the spot just here where I spooked a fish yesterday. It's more or less right in the corner of my swim. These are the cut off branches that I mentioned, which is my marker I can actually see from the swim. And I think it's just that shot, but the tree here sticks out about 3, 4, maybe 5 foot. So it's right beside a kind of sticky out bushy tree, if you want to call it. And it was beside that in this corner here. Yeah, I spooked a fish yesterday, and then more in that corner there was fish boshing out. So I'm going to put a nice concentration of boilie just down here, which is nice and easy to do because of these branches that have been cut off. Put a nice helping of boilie down here for the fish, but then we'll scatter a bit out as well into the general area where fish have been. Showing and bushing out, and a few out in open water. Right, and I'm going to continue down the bank to my side because I don't want to disturb what Darren's baiting strategy is doing. But the rest of the boil I've got with me, I'll bait up my margin. So yeah, fingers crossed this strategy will work. Right guys, just pulling the rods in. It's late afternoon now. We've probably got about an hour or so before we probably get our dinner brought down to us. So getting the rods redone for the night. I've already mentioned that I'm going to try new spots, and I'm going to have one slightly smidge of a different tactic change. It's not a great difference, but it might make a difference, I don't know. But at the moment I've been fishing with the 5.5 inch Gemini booms, so I've made up the same rigs, exactly the same, only you can see that one is a bit longer, so that's a 7 inch Gemini booms. But apart from that, everything else is exactly the same hook, same got shot on the hook, exactly the same, just a longer boom. So, and obviously the same bait. We're going to stick with the same bait as well. 1 fake maize, 2 real maize. So apart from that, and then obviously the new spots as well that I baited up earlier on. So that's today's strategy, guys. Darren's just redoing his as well, but because he's got the boat that got the GPS, he's going back up to the same spots and all that malarkey. My boat's not that fancy, so I can't do that. But oh, there we go, this fancy boat. Look, just press one button and away it goes. If he can work it.
Satellites.
Oh, I've got to wait for the satellites. So is that going to my swim, is it?
It sort of goes round there, it gets confused. It'll go back round in a minute.
It does take a weird path sometimes, doesn't it, to the swim?
Yeah. I'm on 9 satellites now, so it should be.
And now it's
It's the name on the back of it, see, that's why it gets confused.
Oh dear. Right then guys, well I'm going to carry on getting these rigs ready, and then at some point I need Darren's help when I do the rod round the back here by that inlet, because what I'll do is walk down the bank just so I can get it to the bush I want, but to make sure nothing snags up this end like sometimes happens. Right, that's today's strategy. I'm going to crack on, get it done, try not to make this vlog too long. Hello, right on the halfway mark. Right, I'll catch up with you later, guys. Right then guys, right, I'm having a little play with me DJI Osmo camera for this little bit. So rig number 2 ready to go. Lay it down on the ground next to the boat. Lovely dovely. Let some line off. Lovely dovely. One scoop of maize. I'll tell you what would work better. if I put the rig in the boat first. There we go, lovely lovely. Scoop of maize over here to the pellet. Scoop of pellet, that's all I'm doing on this one, because we've already seen I've put out a load of boilie earlier on when I walked around the margins. I've already done one rod, this is my second rod. That's a lovely, lovely. Little bit of line twist coming off. I've found a brand new line, as I said in my last vlog. But first time using it. It's all been with a bait boat. And yeah, been getting a bit of line twist on it, guys. So I'm pretty sure that is down to bait boat use, not the line or anything I'm doing wrong. Right, got to aim for the older whirly gig over there. I'll come back round here so the camera will follow me, and you'll see, obviously, the whirly gig I'm on about. Remember, we're going to the right hand side of that tree, up to them cut off branches. See? That is the spot, guys, right there. I can feel it in the water. That's the one I'm going to have the fish from. Right then, we'll get that rod sorted out. Darren, when he's done his rod, is going to make sure the line feeds off the rod nicely so I can get it round to my right here. And then by the time that's done, probably won't be long before we get our dinner delivered. Right. Fingers crossed, guys. But changing tactics, those little smidges of difference might do some success. Oh, there we go. Another. Get old Darren in the background. Right. Fingers crossed for tonight, guys. It's starting to feel like it's not going to happen. Right, guys, so that is all 3 rods done. Darren, my very helpful ghillie, kind of stood here with the rod at arm's length to make sure the line took a nice wide line as I sent the boat round to that spot where I chucked the boilies in by that inflow what I showed you earlier on. So, fingers crossed, guys. What's this? Is this going into our 4th night? Is it 4th night? I've lost track of days.
Saturday night, Sunday night, yeah.
Yeah, it's going into our 4th night, so fingers crossed, guys.
Mind you, we've had all weathers thrown at us.
Yeah. But you know, I'm exploring that area of the lake down to my right for the first time. So fingers crossed, really. Right. Hopefully soon tonight this time, guys. Go guys, this is the kind of service you get when you buy the food package. You get your food bought.
Guess what's for dinner, job, haven't you?
Look at this for service, guys. This is what you get when you buy the food package, guys. You get your dinner brought to you. You can't ask for better than that, guys.
It's what you call a mystery meal.
Good morning, guys. It might seem a bit dark. It's just so foggy this morning. I thought it was raining when we woke up this morning, but it's not. It's just so heavy with fog. All the dampness from the fog is just dripping off the trees so much. It's like it's raining. But yeah, unfortunately, another fishless night for both me and Darren. Still only that one fish since we've been here for Darren. And literally just as I was getting my camcorder out, a fish just boshed out on the far margins just to the left of that taller tree here. Left of the taller tree. So yeah, it was foggy yesterday, but today it's really foggy. And the fog yesterday didn't even lift until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, like fully lift. So, but it's making it absolutely freezing cold as well. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm starting to panic just yet because there's been no fish, but it is, I would say I'm starting to worry slightly that we've got this far into the session now and still not had anything. You know, we've been fishing all the spots that Craig said. I'm fishing the hook baits now, how Craig said. You know, stack a real maze with a fake top. You know, we're doing everything the, you know, the guy who runs the place said to do. I can't do any more than that, and we still haven't had any. Well, I still haven't had anything. Darren, yeah, only had the one. Was, yeah, I'm not completely worried yet, but to get this far in without anything, I am getting a bit concerned. But yeah, like I say, I'm approaching 9 o'clock, so it won't be long before breakfast gets brought down to the swim. And then once we've had breakfast, I'll have a refresher myself. I'll go and have a shower today, change of clothes and everything, because you know it's not, we're not hot and sweaty, so I'm having a rough day, then a shower, then a rough day, then a shower, then I can cope with that. But yeah, I don't know what to do today, because yeah, I think I've fished all the spots that I've been told to fish. I'm fishing how I've been told you should fish here. What do I do for the best now today? Do I just leave the rods where they are? Do I not touch them for a day? Do I change spots again? No, I don't know. Heard a few fish bosh beside me last night, nothing quite that far round. So possibly leave 2 rods where they are fishing and bring this rod that's round to my right back round on the far margin. To do that I'd have to leapfrog me rods. If I leave me middle rod where it is now, make that my right hand rod, leave me left hand rod where it is but bring it over to my middle alarm, wind in the right hand rod and put it back on the far margin possibly. Oh, don't know. Thing is, where that fish just boshed as I was getting my camera out, I think that's where I had a rod on the first day, so possibly bring that rod round to the right and put it back on that spot again. Just what do you do when you're this far into a session and nothing's happened? Whatever I do, guys, I'll let you know later. £46.5 French beauty, guys.